Hello everyone, my name is Khushbu. So today we would be starting with our unit number 2, social small talk. Now you might be wondering what is small talk. So here small talk refers to casual, light or informal kind of conversation जिसमें particularly हम एक conversation को establish करते हैं, maintain करते हैं social connections को. Moreover, we will get to know about it in our further slides. So here let's just begin with our very first slides. So here success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. So if you particularly want to succeed in your communication, you just need to put small efforts every day. And आपको जब वो रिजल्ट्स एक साथ कलेक्ट होके दिखाई देंगे, आपको पता भी नहीं चलेगा कि कब कब में आपकी कम्युनिकेशन बहुत ज्यादा अच्छी हो गई. Okay, now let's just get moving on and start with our objectives. So objective of this particular course is to make you feel comfortable to talk with strangers. ऐसा कभी हुआ है कि आपको लगा हो कि you are talking to a stranger and you particularly could not able to generate a small talk? Or do you feel shy and awkward? Or maybe are you at loss for words after greetings are exchanged? So do you like or avoid parties and gatherings? So ये सारी चीजें हम आप समझेंगे और सीखेंगे in this particular unit and you will improve your social skills. पिछली unit में we got to know कि how to start a conversation, greetings, सिर्फ greetings and how to end a conversation. But उसके बीच में how to connect with people, how to particularly generate that talk. ये सारी चीजें हम सीखेंगे इस particular unit में. And you will get to know after this particular unit you are able to initiate and sustain a conversation, pick and or avoid topics depending on the degree of intimacy with the particular speaker, evaluate the impact of your own and other small talks the particular language, and you also will able to use language and expression appropriately to the relationship whom the person you are talking to. So now let's proceeding ahead. So this is your warm-up activity. So here your warm-up activity is about you need to read the statements and decide which one of them express your point of view. So you can ask a friend to do the same. You can also ask your friend to do the same. So let's just discuss the reasons for agreement and disagreement. So you just need to tell us that. So I never indulge in small talk. It's such a waste of time. So what do you think about it? Do you agree with the statement or not? Okay, it's your decision. Now let's read second one. Socializing is the art of breaking the ice and making friends. So socializing is the art of breaking ice and making friends. Exactly it is. So we do agree with the statement. What we say and how we say it is important because this reveals our personality. Exactly, agree. Yes. Love chatting with friends. It's such a fun. So now again, your decision is up to you. Like, do you agree with the statement or you do not? So if you do agree, then it means you are able to generate the talk. And if not, then also don't worry. This unit, you will get to know how to socialize and do particular small talks. Now let's discuss our very first activity. So in this very first activity, what you're meant to do is you need to particularly read the short dialogues. So here, you first of all, let's just discuss how to particularly read in a good way. So reading for pleasure and reading for information are two different things. Okay, these are modes of reading as per your interest. So how they are different, like when you are particularly reading something, okay, just for information, you quickly run through that text. Okay, you are quickly running through that text, so that means that is skimming. Okay, you are skimming through the text, you are reading it quickly. But when you are particularly focusing on each word of that text and you're reading together the piece of information, okay, so that is scanning. Okay, so this is the difference between skimming and scanning. एक होता है कि ऊपर ऊपर से पढ़ लिया हमने किसी चीज को, तो दैट इज स्किमिंग, और एक होता है कि हम डीपली उस चीज को पढ़ रहे हैं, एक एक चीज को समझ रहे हैं, तो दैट इज स्कैनिंग. Okay, so here you need to apply particularly. First you can try just skim and then try to scan the text to understand the inner particular meaning of the text. So you can use both of the techniques. Okay, so let's just start. Check your progress number 1. So read the short pieces of conversation and decide on the following for each dialogue. Okay, so again, you need to particularly look for 3 answers. Okay, where is the conversation taking place? What is the appropriate of age of the interlocutors? Okay, then how is their relationship? Number 3, what is the topic of conversation? Number 4, okay, are they casual, friendly, angry with each other? So not 3, just there are 4 things you need to keep in mind. So let's just start. So here is your particular reading number 1. Please read it and then we will discuss the answer. Okay, let's just discuss the answer. So it seems like that the conversation between Vikram and Jaya, like it's office colleagues conversation who are meeting for the first time. Okay, they are fairly young. Okay, what is the age of interlocutors? They are young and making the guest comfortable. So they are just trying to make, the topic is about making the guest comfortable. And number 4 is the answer. So friendly would be the answer. Okay, I hope you got it. Continuing with number 2. So I'm giving you the time to read down the number 2, then we will discuss the answer. Okay, let's just discuss here. So for number 2, there I can see that 2 women are in the park. Okay, and it's the evening time. The age of the women is quietly middle aged. Okay, they seems like they are neighbors and they are talking about the topic health and fitness. The conversation, they are basically seems that they are friendly. Okay, okay, now let's talk about number 3. Again, giving you the time. So here are only 2 dialogues are written. So you just read them first, then I will skip the part to the next slide. Okay, let's just come on to our next slide. Okay, so here is the further reading passage. You can take your time. Just try to read it with help of skimming and scanning both. Okay, moving ahead. So let's just discuss about previous one first, then we will move ahead. Yes. So this, these dialogues and conversations seems like it's happening between 2 sisters and they are at their home. One could be married and other one is not married. Okay. So it is a very intimate and personal conversation while we read it. So we get to know about it. They are talking about some, deep and intimate things. Okay. Now let's talk about Loki Das and mother conversation is there. So I want you to read it and then we will discuss the answers. Okay, let's just discuss. I will help you out to read it and then we will discuss the answers. Loki Das. Mother, I am back from school. Mother. Yes, dear. Wash your hands and have your lunch. It's on the table. Loki Das. But I don't want lunch. It's the same old thing every day. Mother. Please, Loku, don't make a fuss and eat up your lunch. I will make you something nice for tea. And what did you do at school? Lokidas, nothing. Mother, why? You have a composition period. Let me see what you wrote. Lokidas, no, no, nothing. Mother, let me see. Now she's reading. My parents. My mother's name is Kaveri. My father's name is Sankaran. My mother liked boys who listen to their parents. My father reads the paper. We have TV in our house. When I grow up, I won't be an engineer. Lokidas angrily. The teacher says this lacks logical order and gave it 1 out of 10. What a shame. Adapted from a purple sea by. So this is adapted from here. So here it seems like the conversation is home. The child is home now after the school. Very young boy is there. The conversation is taking place between young boy and his mother. So feels as if mother is irritated and son is withdrawn. So this conversation shows us this. So I hope you got the particular scenario, the conversation, how to deal with them. And now this is the answer key. You can just rectify your answers if you missed out. Now coming to our small topic, that is criteria for socializing. So here you will get to know that by now you already have a fair good idea of what is meant by socializing or small talk. So small talks happen every time, all the time, between casual acquaintances or people from whom you meet in the course of your work. So small talk take place everywhere. Okay, so you may just meet them and just want in your lifetime you are developing a small talk. It could be long, it could be one lasting one. So here you need to make others comfortable by avoiding offenses and personal questions in small talks. You need to pay attention to that. Moreover, conversation often begins with things around. It could be like you started talking about, okay, how's the weather today? Is it good? Is it bad? So you are just socializing. You are just generating a conversation. Okay. So also you need to pay attention to what others says so that you can just develop a conversation according to that. सो नॉर्मली द कन्वर्सेशन जो है वो अराइव होती है इमीडिएट फिजिकल इन्वायरमेंट पे, वेदर्स की बात कर लिया, फिर हम बिल्डिंग्स के बारे में, अरे देखो यू जस्ट हैव यू सॉन दैट पर्टिकुलर बिल्डिंग या प्लेसेस, तो हम ऐसे जब बात स्टार्ट करते हैं किसी होटल के बारे में, मील्स के बारे में, इंटरटेनमेंट के बारे में, सो दीज ऑल आर पर्टिकुलर स्मॉल टॉक्स वी कैन स्टार्ट विद. Okay, it could be breaking the ice or filling up the moment of silence. कई बार ऐसी सिचुएशन होती है ना जब हम बिल्कुल शांत हो जाते हैं and we feel like कि अब क्या बात करें, तो एकदम से याद आता है कि उससे ये पूछते हैं कि करंट अफेयर्स क्या चल रहा है, करंट इवेंट्स क्या चल रहे हैं. So you just generate a conversation. Could ask about hobbies के बारे में पूछ सकते हो, experiences के बारे में. This is how you can fill the gaps and you can start a social small talk. Okay, now here is one listening activity for you all. So I want you all to please listen carefully to the listening activity and solve the problem.
There's been a lot of publicity in the media about young people recently. Most of it is negative. We read that the 20-somethings of today are getting lazier and more selfish, and they depend on their parents for everything. But just how fair is that? Today, I'm interviewing Ashley Roberts, who is 21 and has just graduated from college. Ashley, do young people deserve this reputation?
Well, I think it depends on the individual. One of the biggest problems is that we're treated as if we're all the same. Of course, some young people may just sit around updating their Facebook page, but I think many people in their 20s are working or studying harder than ever before. It's just that we do things differently from our parents.
So you don't think that things are easier for young people?
Not really. I think this is a really difficult time to be young. Sure, we have more material stuff and more opportunities to travel, but there are also fewer jobs, and there's more competition for everything.
Well, you've certainly grown up in a difficult economic climate. But is it fair to say that the youth of today are more selfish?
No, I don't think it is. I think we care about things just as much as older people. Lots of my friends do volunteer work, for example. I read that twice as many people volunteer as when my parents were young. Young people are maybe more self-confident these days, and they want to do what they believe in. Is that being selfish?
But what about the argument that young people don't want to grow up?
Maybe old people are just jealous of us because we're having fun. So we spend our money on clothes and entertainment, but isn't that what young people have always done?
Thank you, Ashley. It's been very interesting talking to you. It's probably true that the older generation have always thought that they work harder and have better values than their children's generation. Well, Ashley will get her chance to complain about the younger generation in a few years.
Choose the correct option.
Okay, now let's proceed further. Here we are going to start with vocabulary. Vocabulary about describing people. So it is really important when you are generating small talk. So you should know कि कैसे हम लोगों को describe करें. Okay. So there could be three criteria by which you can just describe any person. Okay. Personal appearance. पहला general appearances. Second specific skin, complexion or hair you talk about. So this is how you particularly talk about it. And the third criteria is about height and width. So let's just deeply analyze what is general appearance. कि general appearance के बारे में जब आप किसी के बताते हो तो this there could be examples like okay, Shikhar is really smart. Okay, so Shikhar smart है तो आप generally appearance के बारे में अगर बात कर रहे हो. Okay, you are just telling the appearance. Okay, while her sister is loopy and untidy, बहुत ही untidy है, तो you're giving the particular description of appearance. Then they make a lovely pair. He's good looking and she's attractive. So you are describing about their appearances. Next is specifies. So skin, complexion, जब आप complexion, hair, face की बात करते हो कि face thin face है, rounded face है या chubby face है या फिर particularly you are talking about it, so that is describing on basis of specifics. Okay, hair, if you talk about कि उसके hair जो है वो बहुत लंबे हैं और maybe curly or her complexion is dark, fair skin, so all these things are covered under this. Now height and build. So if you are talking or describing someone on based of the height, so like Shikhar is tall, okay, Shikhar is tall or maybe short in height, so all these things are you are describing a person based on height. Now here is one activity for you all. So I want you to please just concentrate, have a notebook with you and write down the opposite description of the following. Take your time. Okay, so let's just discuss the answers. Number 1, a slim woman. So opposite of it is an overweight woman. Now number two answer is opposite is tall with a thin face. Okay, opposite of short and chubby face is tall with thin face. Next, opposite of curly hair and dark skin is straight hair, okay, and fair skin. Number 4, opposite of an obese person is a slim person. Okay, उसके बाद एक well dressed man का opposite होता है scruffy or untidy man. Number 6, a smart and elegant woman. So a dowdy woman. Okay, a dowdy woman means, dowdy word particularly means जिसको the person who is not attractive or fashion की ज़्यादा sense नहीं. Okay, then he is very good looking. He is rather ugly, you can call opposite. And then last one, a handsome man. A rather unattractive man could be the opposite of this one. And now let's proceed to our next topic. But before that, here is the answer key for you all. So you can just recheck your answers if you missed out something. Now we are going to talk about grammar questions. Okay. So when we talk about types of questions, so basically two types of questions arises in our mind. One is open और दूसरा है close. So जब हम बात करते हैं open questions की, so open questions can have many answers. ओके सब्जेक्टिव होता है पर्टिकुलर क्वालिटी में और बहुत सारे आंसर्स हो सकते हैं आपके पास. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर मैं आपसे पूछती हूँ व्हाट्स दैट यू रीडिंग, तो जो लिसनर है आप जो है मुझे रिप्लाई कर सकते हो. कुछ आप में से मेरे को बोलेंगे कि ओके मैम प्राइड एंड प्रेजुडिस या फिर ऑलिवर, सम ऑफ यू माइट से ऑलिवर ट्विस्ट, and there could be multiple answers. Then you start describing it. So there could be multiple answers to these kind of questions. So since these questions generally begin with WH words, okay, तो इन क्वेश्चंस को जो से हम पूछते हैं इन पर्टिकुलर्स में तो उनको बोलते हैं WH questions. Okay, so WH words include who, what, which, when, how, they, and further. Now second one is closed questions. So closed questions have very limited answers. आप generally objective nature में ये होते हैं and you usually answer in just yes no. Like if I ask you may I sit here on the bed, so you can, आप ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्या बोलोगे, you will just reply yes or no. Yes, so these kinds of questions are also called yes or no questions. Now moving on, here is the particular list of WH words. Okay, these are the number of words in English language जो कि हम particularly question करने के लिए किसी से पूछते हैं. Okay, sometimes we even refer to them as WH question words. Number 1 is what. Okay, so here what we use for when you need to particularly get on some information. जब आपको किसी चीज के बारे में इंफॉर्मेशन चाहिए होती है, आप क्या पूछते हैं कि ओके व्हाट आर यू डूइंग, सो आप पूछ रहे हो कि क्या कर रहे हो, तो यू वांट दैट इंफॉर्मेशन. Okay, so that is why we use what. Number 2, when. So when is when you appropriately want to know about a certain sort of time. Okay, when do you arrive, so you want the time zone of that particular time, so that is why when is used. Number 3, where. So you use where. Now vice versa, पहले when में हमें time जाना था, where में we are going to ask about place. Okay, where are you from, हम पूछते हैं ना where are you from, so we want to know the place. Okay, so where do you go for your tuitions or anything else could be the example. Then we have who. So who is used when asking of identity. जब हमें किसी person की identity को जानना होता है, तो then we ask who. Okay, कई बार पूछते ना, okay who are you, so I want to know that what is your identity. I might not know you. और मैं कि who called earlier, so I want to know कि किसने call किया. Okay, then taking a pause. Yes, now whose. Whose is used when you asking about possession. Maybe there is some notebook, so I may ask my students whose notebook is this, whose notebook is this. Okay, I want to know the possession कि वो चीज किसकी है. Then which is used to ask about choice कि जब हमें किसी चीज की हमारे पास options होते हैं and we want to give that option to somebody, we ask about choice. Okay, which ice cream you would like to take. Okay, either now you give option chocolate or strawberry or anything. Then we have why. So why जो है वो use होता है when asking about reasons. आपको किसी चीज का reason जानना है. Okay, किसी चीज के पीछे क्या reason था, why you did that. Okay, so why would you say something like that. Okay, so I want to know the reason behind it. Then we have how. So here last, how is used when you want to ask about any condition. Okay, any quality of that manner, like how did you do that, कि आपने वो काम कैसे किया. I want to know about the procedure, I want to know about the quality of that thing. So I hope that WH questions are very much clear to you. Turning your attention to now yes no questions. So yes no questions quite objective in nature, they lead to just yes and no responses. We use just verbs, very first verb, the groups. Okay, like is he annoyed with me. Okay, so you will answer yes or no. Okay, have you telephoned the doctor, answer could be yes or no. So here is check your progress number 4. So you need to match box A with box B. Just match them up and then I will share the answer key with you all. Okay, let's just discuss once so that it is better clarified. So number 1, shall I help you with baggage? So this one matches with number C. Yes, please. Thanks very much. So this is how you will match it with. Then where can I buy the course books? What do you think? Yes, last one. In the college bookshop near the canteen, you are giving the information. Then what is your name? Rajiv Sharma. Then why aren't you going on a vacation? So you can answer, I have too much work to complete. So A matches with this. And the last one, aren't you happy with your job? So the answer is D. No, I'm quite bored. Real. Now continuing with another exercise. So here what you are going to do is you need, here are some answers. You need to think about the questions. Okay, what do you think are the questions? So write down the questions in your notebook as per the answers. Generate the questions. I will share the answer key and then you can just rematch your answers with the ones I am sharing. So here is the list of correct answers. Please just check on your answer, but first try to do them on your own. And now the next topic is about writing short descriptions. So here you will get to know how to write short descriptions. Okay, now let's check progress number 5. In 2 or 3 sentences, describe each of the following people, giving information about their face. So now you need to describe the person, okay, giving the information about their face, could be complexion. Remember, we started in previous slides, build and general appearances. So let's just discuss them out. But first, you take your time and generate your responses. First, generate your responses and then I will discuss. So number 1, let's discuss about yourself. Think about it. Okay, let me give you now my example. You can say, when describing myself, I can say, my name is Khushbu Nagar. I'm of medium height and I'm neither fat nor slim. I wish I could just lose some kilos. I have a mediocre complexion. I would say I'm quite smart and very active. So this is my description, sort of description. Now, description could be different, okay, as per yours. Answer will vary. Number two, your grandmother and grandfather. Okay, think of it. I'm giving just random example now. My grandmother was of medium height, and when I knew her, she was rather plump. She had a wheatish complexion and was quite beautiful. So this is how I describe. Number three, your mother or father. So let's discuss about father. My father was a tall man, rather overweight, but had quite an attractive personality. He had a round face and straight, very straight hair. Number four, your best friend. So now you could describe your best friend. Like my best friend is Shivani. She has a wheatish complexion with a slim face. She is stallish and carries herself well. She is very good looking. Okay, this is how you can describe. And the last one, a neighbor. So my neighbor is Rupali. She is quite elegant and stylish. She has straight hair and which she keeps quite short. She is dusky in complexion and is very tall. So this is how we describe. Here are the answers. Please rectify your answers. Now let's just see what is next. Okay, so this is a particular pronunciation round. Okay, so contracted form. We learned about contraction, smaller version of two words. Okay, so we just contract them, make them short and concise. So listen to the contracted forms in these sentence and then repeat after me. Now, she she will see you in 10 minutes. So you call it she'll see you in 10 minutes. Okay, then she did look better with short hair. Next, you are taking it very easy. So you and are we just contracted and make it you are taking it very easy. Next, haven't seen him. Here have and not made haven't seen him. Next, they did met before. So they and did two words. I particularly contracted them and made they did met before. Next one, it isn't working. It is not working. We made it. It isn't working. Then we have seen the film already. So we have seen the film already. We made it. We have seen the film already. I can't hear anything. Can you? So this is how you particularly contract and pronounce them. So please keep practicing, and practice makes man perfect. So now it's time to sum up. So in this unit, you have been given some tips to improve your social skill. And by now you might have got to know that what is small talk and how to generate it. So there were various tasks which help you understand different people, how different people can give views about socializing and chatting. So it ultimately helped you introduce to the words to describe people. We even covered grammar with WH questions and yes and no questions. So this was it about this unit. I hope I was able to make you clear about this topic. Thank you. See you all again. Bye.